What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we just pulled out this clutch and we've got a couple eggs that are sliced, which is great, so we're gonna cut them up. But this clutch is kind of a big deal because this is our Lajitas patternless project. So if you guys might recall, so we got a pair of Lajitas Sonoran Gophers a few years ago. And anyways, we ended up breeding them and we got a surprise in the clutch and we had patternless pop up. Very similar to like the Super Forks in the Marathon locality, right? And so we had it happen in the Lajitas locality though, which was not expected. And so we produced these patternless Sonorans back in 2020. And we finally were able to breed patternless to patternless. So this is that clutch. We've never done this before. And so this will hopefully give us a little more insight into exactly how this gene is really working. And we're really excited to see the results. So let's get into it. All right. Well, it's patternless. Okay. Nice. All right, sweet. Okay. I'm not totally sure what to expect with this clutch because in some ways I would expect it to all be patternless because it was patternless. But I feel like there's just some questions surrounding this a little bit still. Okay, that's another patternless. This one kind of has a cool little stripe going, which some of them as babies do have that, which is really unique. Cool, I think, so. All right, let's go over and get this last one that's cut already. And then, sorry, I'm gonna block your view for 2 seconds. And then we'll get to the rest. Okay, check it. All right, another patternless. Okay, so either the whole clutch is definitely patternless or we just cut the 3 patternless. Right? All right, let's start over here. Ooh, wow.
That one's like really orange.
Yeah. So if I remember right, this is from our really pretty female? Is this one from the really pretty female? Yeah, this is actually from that really pretty female. Maybe we'll drop her picture in the middle of this video. That has like those really cool like purples and oranges, and she's the one that hates my guts, but she's so incredibly pretty. So this is her clutch. And so we're actually hoping we can produce a couple more that look like her. So that would be really, really cool. All right, another patternless. I think we might just hit all patternless, honestly. Which would make a lot of sense to me. So it would not make a lot of sense if we produce something that's not patternless. But we're about to find out in just a couple minutes. I feel like this is a good enough sample size to determine for sure. Okay, yeah. So far, everything's patternless. We got 4 more to go. I'm just gonna turn this for myself real quick. Wow, that one is clean. Really yellow too. Nice. Nice. Okay. Whoa, that one's got a lot of cool little like markings on it. Has a lot of like purple in it too. That one might be kind of similar to mom. Boy, it's gonna be exciting to see these crawl out. Okay, 2 more. Oh, hi! About ready to slice yourself, huh? Nice. Okay, last one. Well, covered up there, but definitely patternless. Okay, good news. I wasn't puzzled by this result. That's actually great. So everything was a patternless, which is how it should be. So we bred patternless to patternless. Everything's patternless, which is great. So to me, that is most likely going to mean that, well, in my opinion, it means it's recessive. So anyways. So basically, the thing about these is that the babies are non-visual hets. I can't tell them apart. So, our parents that produced the first ones, there was, how many was there in that first clutch? 5? 5 to 7 maybe, somewhere in there maybe. But I think there was like, well, I don't know, 15 eggs maybe in that very first clutch. I think didn't we already do a video on this?
Yeah, we did.
I think we did a video on this already, so I'll have to refer back to that. But anyways, we kept 3 of the babies. We kept a 1.2. And so there were normals in the clutch and then patternless in the clutch. So really to me, that kind of almost says more of a recessive trait, especially by breeding visual to visual and you get 100%. So I don't think it's a total case of the co-dominant, complete dominant. I think it's more like recessive. That makes sense to me. So anyways, regardless, somebody smarter than me might have to make that determination. But this makes sense to me. And so that's really great. I'm really excited to actually see the variation that we get. You know, you saw some of those had really cool markings and some of them looked really clean. I think both looks are actually super, super cool. And I guess we'll update you guys in a couple days on how the clutch turns out. Alright guys, so we have another clutch of Lajitas right here. And so this is their second and, you know, only the last Lajitas clutch of the year. So we only had 2. Technically, well, there was 3, I guess, but the other one was project based, and so we didn't end up showing that one, and the clutch wasn't very good anyway. But this clutch right here is actually from the OG female, so she is the mother of the project, you could say. And so we went ahead and bred her son, which was patternless, back to her. And so there will definitely be some patternless in here, and also some normals that should be, you know, carriers of the gene, hets, if you will. And so anyways, she's the one that produced those babies in the beginning that were so beautiful. And the first clutch that we just cut, they're starting to all crawl out and everything, and they look really, really good, and we'll definitely show you guys those. But let's go ahead and see what we got in this clutch. These are really big eggs, so smaller clutch, but huge eggs, so we're okay with that. Just cut that part. Alright, so this is one of our first normals. So this little guy should be a het. Carry that patternless gene. Looks good. Even the normals are really pretty, so. Oh, that one's thick. Alright, there you go. There's a patternless. Wow, that one's really gold. Lots of yellow in that one. Really pretty. That's actually more of what. Oh, did you see that? That thing's head was not out a second ago and it just like shot out. That was hilarious. So that was funny. We'll get to you, I promise. Anyway, the father looks a lot like this. So we'll show him in a couple minutes. He's got that really pretty kind of golden yellow color. Oh, nice, another one. Oh, this one's got like some of that cool patterning though. So still patternless, but these guys, they have like some pattern that kind of shows through, which is super cool. I actually really like that. So makes them really unique in that sort of way. Well, that's got a normal head, so there's at least 2 normals. And 3 patternless so far. Nice. That one looks really pretty too. Nice. Sweet. Okay, here, should we take care of you? Let me just thank you. Since you seem to want to, come check things out here. Oh, well, I don't know where he went now, but... Anyways, there, yep, just another hat. Alright, okay. We'll go ahead and do this neighbor really quick before he decides to shoot back out at me. So another patternless? Nice, another. Oh, your head's right there. Can't really see it probably, but head's right there. Wow, look at this purple. There's lots of purple on this one. That's pretty. Nice, so 4 patternless, 2 normals. Nice, I'm liking those odds. Okay, last 2. Do this one, then we'll do the... Nice, another. Awesome. Oh, these look really good. Okay, all right, last one. I was like, would you imagine? Okay, well, that's totally fine. So we ended up with what? There was 5 patternless and 3 normals. Yeah, so that's actually great odds. That's really good. You got majority patternless, which, I mean, that's really what you should be getting with that breeding. So that's awesome. So pretty excited about those. These are still really relatively new. But again, similar to the Super Forks, but this is a Lajitas locality, so different locality, but same kind of thing going on here where we get those really pretty patternless, the different variations of, you know, your expressions going on too a little bit. So anyways, that's really exciting. Pretty cool. We'll show you guys some more cool stuff in a couple days. Alright guys, back with an update for you on those eggs that we just sliced. So the Lajitas patternless, they have all crawled out, they've shed, they've actually even had their first meal. We've actually photographed them, we've already sold a couple. These guys are awesome, okay? I love these guys. So let's go ahead and show you a couple of them. They're actually up here, so I'm gonna be taller than Spencer for once. I don't know, I just wanna find like some really pretty ones. Which female was it that was like crazy cool? Was it 10? Actually, I think it was 10 maybe. Yeah, this girl is awesome looking. Let's show you her. She's got like so much cool pattern going on, which I think is just super neat. Still a patternless Lajitas, which, you know, sounds a little funny saying that. But this patterning is so cool. I really hope that she actually turns out like her mom, who has so much of that purple going on. And regardless, I think that she'll make a beautiful adult. And I think she'll get some really great color going on. But I just think that this one's super cool because of all that really neat patterning that goes down the tail and everything. I'm sure that whoever gets this girl is just gonna get a really pretty animal. That's for sure. So, there was a bunch that looked really awesome. They're all hiding under the paper, I guess. But, here's another one. This one's got a little more orange going on, actually, which is nice. All right, come back. And so, less pattern than that other female, but I think that this one might have a little more orange to start with. But anyway, pretty cool. Like, there's just like a bunch of orange, I feel like, up here along the sides. I don't know if it can really be picked up on camera. But anyway, pretty awesome looking. I really love like their clean heads. I think that's like one of the really cool parts about them. So, let's see if we can find a couple of other ones that are pretty neat. This guy is actually really clean looking, which makes him pretty cool. He's only got a little bit of patterning, pretty much like mid-body and down. And there's not even that much going on really. So, but he's pretty clean otherwise. There might actually be a cleaner one than that. But nice looking. Pretty cool. Might have more color come through at some point as he matures. But can't see them because they're all under the paper. Pretty much like what we just saw.
They all vary some, right?
Yeah, I mean, they do all vary a little bit. That one wants to eat me right now. He's just gonna try to be a punk. Yeah, they do all vary a lot, but... Oh, wow, okay. This one would like his mom for sure. This guy's got actually a lot of color already. Tons of orange and red. And the attitude that matches it as well. So this guy's looking pretty sharp. Lots of color going on here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a lot more red and orange going on in this guy than most of those other ones we've looked at. He even has like some of the black up along his neck and everything. If I point, he'll just start getting grumpy, but he's gonna have some really great contrast. I bet he'll get very orange actually. So that's pretty cool. He's a nice one. And super friendly, so that's a bonus, huh? Yeah, I mean, we pretty much showed like something that looks like that. Oh, this guy's really pretty actually. This guy's super orange. Already, as a baby. Really orange, but like a very, I don't even know what to call it. Almost some pink kind of too. Anyway, really great looking. Like Spencer said, they do all vary a lot. So you can get a variety of looks, which is pretty fun. Because I'm not even sure what all these will turn out looking like, but I do know they'll be pretty, so. And they're actually really fun. The Sonoran Gophers are actually really similar to bull snakes in terms of like they can get just as big. Like these guys will easily get just as big as the bulls. My adults are just as big as some of my bulls. And the sass, I mean, you guys like the bull snake sass? Well, the Sonorans have it and maybe even worse, to be honest. And so, and these Lajitas, they're just fun. They mature and then they get so colorful. It's, even the normals are really cool. So, speaking of normals, we actually had the second clutch of Lajitas. They're down here. They just hatched like a couple days ago. I think they finished hatching. And so, yeah, they're kind of all in the blue right now. But this is that clutch. So this is from the OG female, bred to her son to a patternless. And so we've got some nice looking heads in here. And check out this one, super striped. Yeah, that's cool. So a couple heads and then a bunch of nice visuals that are looking pretty sharp. So you know, you got this look that's like really clean, kind of almost has a stripe going on. This one's got a real stripe going on. It's got the boulder kind of siding to that stripe too. And anyways, they're so cool. And these guys, like, you know, they turn like the oranges or they'll get really gold. We have our adult that's super gold, and then our other, well, gold yellow. And then our female that is seriously like orange and purple. And she's got a lot of attitude, which is really fun. But anyways, these guys are really awesome. I definitely would recommend getting one if you guys are into like that. Anyway, no, I just mean like
the sass.
The sass. These guys are definitely, they have the sass like level 10 for sure. You know, that female I really don't take out unless I have a hook. That's how sassy she is, which makes it fun, even though sometimes I hate her. But we have fun. And so anyways, these guys are awesome. Definitely give them a second glance. They are so, so pretty. I think even prettier than your normal patternless bulls. Like if you want something that's patternless and has like all the qualities of a bull snake, the Lajitas patternless is the way to go for sure. They will be prettier, they'll be spunky, and anyway, it'll be fun to watch them grow and mature and color up. So anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.